Hey guys, welcome back to BachMakers, your favorite show that recaps all things Bachelor Nation. Before we continue with this episode, we're going to ask you very nicely, Michael, please deliver the news.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And share.
In that order, or reverse the order. It doesn't matter to us. Just do those things. Helps us. Enjoy this episode. We'll see you in the episode. Just keep watching. All right. Bye. All right. Anything else you want to add to the recap board before we get started?
Greer has a new boyfriend.
Does she really?
She's been fucking soft launching the fuck out of him on her Instagram. It's been pissing me off.
Oh no.
Yeah. GG's.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. How you holding up? All right.
Yeah, they ain't gonna last a while. They ain't gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave this in too, just because we're gonna get the whole Batchmaker crew behind you and Greer. Somehow, we're gonna make it work. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Batchmakers. I'm Wyatt. That's Michael. We're here to break down week 5 of both Golden Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise. We're coming off a heater of a week last week. We're a day late today, so we'll get straight into things. But first, scoreboard, bet check. As of right now, I am leading with 12 points. Michael is right behind me, right on my tail with 10 points, and I'll put the scoring sheet on the screen as well. I only have Blake remaining on my team, who received a rose this week, so he got 1 point. And then, Michael, you got 2 points this week, a rose from Leslie, which means she's going to hometowns, and a rose from Brayden, so you got 2 points. You are slowly gaining on me because you have Leslie, Rachel, and Brayden left. Yeah. And I'm just holding on with Blake. If Blake doesn't go home with someone, it's over for me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty much.
I might be screwed no matter what.
Yeah, you could be screwed. Especially, I guess we'll get into the Blake stuff later, but not everything's smooth sailing for him right now. So
yeah, nothing's guaranteed with him at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, updated score: Wyatt 12, Michael 10. And again, the loser has to get a Bachelor promo poster of the other person hung up in their room until the end of the next season. So we'll keep an eye on that for next week. We're getting close to some big points. We get 5 points for leaving in a relationship. 10 points for an engagement? Is that what we do, or do we just do 5? So I don't remember. It'll be on the screen. But I think it's just 5 if you leave in a relationship.
I think engagement was 10. There was definitely there was something for Paradise leaving. Oh, yeah. Because you can get engaged on Paradise, and you can also just leave dating.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So I think there's definitely a difference.
Oh, we did 5 points for leaving the show in a relationship, 10 points leaving the show engaged, which I have 12 total points right now. So any engagement is going to blow this wide open.
Unless Blake also gets engaged.
Which I don't think is happening, which we'll talk about. But
yeah.
I think I lost. I think it might be over.
I mean, your best bet is Leslie getting sent home, which obviously friend of the program.
We're not rooting for. Yeah, no one's rooting for that.
Yeah. So,
damn. All right. Yeah. Well, we'll keep it updated on that. Comment of the week again this week. We'll just do the same thing. Favorite quote out of context. Pick a quote from. I would argue probably Paradise is the most quotable of the two. Favorite quote so far of either season though. Leave a comment on out of context, whatever you want, and we'll send merch to our favorite one. So make sure you do that and like the video if you're watching. We appreciate that a lot. Golden Glammy, Michael. This is an interesting week for it because we're getting down to the thick of it.
Yep.
We just got a handful with 3 grannies left, which is we'll get into. It was wild that they cut it down to 3, but I'll give you the floor. I'm interested to see where you go here. Who's your Golden Glammy for week 5?
My Golden Glammy is, I would say, without a doubt, would be considered the 4th place finisher, and that's Ellen. I was very shocked by this. I'm sure we'll get into it. But she's such a sweet lady. Obviously, she was falling in love with him. And I really shipped it. At first, I didn't really see it. Then as the weeks were going by, I was just like, this whole pickleball connection, I think, could really just take him to the end. And yeah, she's such a nice lady. And so Ellen, definitely my Golden Glammy. Hate to see her go. So yeah, it was very emotional. I mean, it was very emotional, like goodbye. He walked her out. I was just really shocked that happened. And honestly, if I'm Ellen sitting there on the bench, I don't want to be talked to at that point. I just want to get in the car and fucking leave. Like, you broke up with me, you chose, these fuckers over me. Like, I want to get out of here. So, but props to her for sitting there and taking more emotional pain.
Yeah, so she was my Golden Glammy as well, and I figured that's where we would go with this because it's very clear she is the odd one out of the people who got cut this week. And we'll talk. We got Sandra and Susan also went home, but like Gerry didn't even talk to them. He just said, "All right, bye," and then he like
Yeah.
took a moment with Ellen.
Yeah.
And there's always one per season where it feels like there's like a heavy producer hand for like, why is Teresa still here? And it feels forced because it feels like his connection with Ellen is so much stronger. But yeah, Ellen, I mean, I think again, we keep like, if I think of it in the terms of Paradise and stuff like that, like if this is its own franchise, or if we're gonna get some type of like Paradise for the grannies, I hope we see Ellen again. I hope we do. I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know if they're gonna do something similar.
There's no way.
They're not gonna do the beach. There's no way. But they're gonna do something. This franchise or this segment of the franchise is too successful for them not to try to manipulate it and monetize it more. Like they're gonna try to find a way to get these people back on screen, which is obviously more difficult because they're 70 years old. So who knows? But Ellen, again, it would have been such an easy final three if it was Ellen, Faith, and Leslie.
Yeah.
Like that is a guaranteed like top three. Everyone likes them. There's no, but you need a little bit of drama. And I think Teresa is bringing the drama. And we'll get in our full Golden Bachelor recap in a second. Next up, Cringe of the Week. And I think we're going to go back to back, have the same pick here with both Golden Glammy and Cringe of the Week.
Now, I only wrote down one thing in my notes this week because I was like watching it. Normally I take down a lot of notes of anything like I notice, anything like I see, any quote, I just like put in the notes just to talk about. But this point, I just put down one, and I honestly, when I'm looking back at my notes, I kind of forgot what it was, but I'm sure it's the same thing as you, so I'll just say it. It was Aaron. I just have Aaron B singing.
Happy birthday. That is so sad.
Aaron B what?
Singing. Or was it beatboxing or something? He was like, Aaron B was singing or something. No, it's not Brayden at the end of the episode. That shit was fire. Fire. And it was Aaron B. Aaron B sang at some point, and it was cringe. I wrote it down.
Whoa. Okay, I don't have that. That's not mine.
Aaron B was singing. I don't know when it was, but I remember watching it. And I was just like, yeah, I'm writing this down. That's Cringe of the Week.
Whoa. Okay. Honestly, I'm going to pull you. I don't remember that. I don't remember that part of the episode. So maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I just blocked off my Aaron B moment. You're missing the big one here. Our boy F. Peter with the all-time cringiest kiss. Him and Kylie during the Truth or Dare game.
Oh, yeah. That was a very obvious cringe.
I dare you to kiss a girl here you find it most attractive.
No.
Violet B going in for a kiss with Kylie doing this.
Yeah, that's the only one I wrote down. I don't remember the singing part, but I'm sure that's on there. Which there's an Aaron B moment where I kind of feel bad for him again later on in the episode around the Truth or Dare game. But during the Truth or Dare game, someone, I believe it's our newcomer Sam. She tells him like, "I dare you to kiss like the most attractive girl here," and like, first of all, he just got a rose from Sam, and then he turns straight to Kylie. Very clearly about to go in for a kiss. She's very clearly not into it. And he just goes into it and she just
You gotta respect it though. You gotta respect
Do you?
Like, he in his mind, obviously, he thinks Kylie is the most attractive, which I think objectively he's probably not wrong. So you gotta respect it for him to like stick him with his guts. He could have been all fake and been like, "Oh, I'm gonna kiss you because I think you're the most attractive," because she just gave him the rose and try to like, I don't know, secure that relationship a bit. But like, I respect him for just like sticking to his guns and being like, Kylie's hot. I want to kiss her. Boom.
I respect the choice in that sense. Or like I get it. Like
Yeah.
if you think she's the most attractive, once you realize, she's like her and Avon are endgame at this point,
Are
and
they though?
yes,
I mean, they are, but at the same
compared
time,
to everyone else on the beach, yes.
I don't know, that also seems a little fake, and they're just kind of like, you know, I don't know.
But they had like a full conversation, like they're not going to pursue anyone else, and that obviously F. Peter doesn't see that, but he knows they have a connection. Just like you can almost choose Kylie, but you don't have to finish the act and kiss her once you realize she's not into it. It was just hard to watch. It's one of like, it might not be the cringiest moment we've had, but it's the one that got a physical reaction out of me. Like I couldn't watch. It was really tough to watch. But let's get into it. Paradise recap. First thing that happens where we left the teaser from last week, Sean's begging for a miracle, another girl to come down before the rose ceremony. He gets it. His young brain gets the miracle. It doesn't quite work out for him, but it's Sam. It's a girl we've never seen before, I guess, unless you've somehow watched Bachelor in Paradise Canada, which I have not. But she's. I knew it was a thing because Brendan was on it. I want to say last season, a friend of the program who was on Katie's season of The Bachelorette. But she was on Bachelor in Paradise Canada. She was also in Canadian Big Brother, I think. I did a little bit of research. But she left that season of Paradise. She was in a love triangle. She wasn't chosen and she left. But she comes on the beach. Everyone's like, who the hell are you? I have no idea who you are. And then every guy who doesn't have a rose secured at that point is just fiending for her, trying to get a rose. Really hard to watch. And then Sean ultimately gets age shamed for like 10 minutes straight on this episode, which was wild.
Kind of hilarious. Kind
of hilarious. I wish he was still around.
It was I do wish he was still around. Tough to see him go. But it was like pretty funny how he was the one like praying, oh, they need to send us more right now. And then they don't give him a layup. Like they could have given him a layup with giving him someone that was like young and blonde or something to where like it would have made sense. But they just gave him the opposite, like a 32, 33-year-old that like is Canadian and that is just definitely not his type, just definitely polar opposites don't blend well together. So they didn't give him a layup. I thought she was going to pick Aaron S, to be honest. I don't know why the hell she chose Peter. I was
wild.
They must have not talked at all. And wait, did they talk? Did they show them talking?
I don't even remember them talking. She probably was like, "Oh, I hate everyone else. This dude's semi good looking. Let's pick him." And she said she trusted her gut. Like, I have to go with my gut here. And I was like, your gut's telling you F Peter? Really?
Yeah, I think she literally went off looks, I guess. But yeah, that was crazy. I'm not the biggest fan of her, of just what I've seen so far. She seems a little bit. She came in, she was like, "I'm here to fuck shit up," but like, you just seem annoying already. Like you're already, I don't know, you already seem annoying. Like I'm already tired of you. I want some drama. I'm okay with a pot stir, but like you're annoying.
I think we have too many pot stirrers on the beach at this point. Not enough like people to get stirred up. You can't have everyone stirring the pot, then no one's stirring the pot. There's nothing to stir.
They should have waited till Kat left, and then maybe brought her in or something.
Let's play hypothetical here. Kind of weird they didn't send her in with a date card. Obviously, it's about to be the rose ceremony, so you can't do that. But you almost always send someone in with a date card. Well, what do you think?
With the rose, same thing.
Yeah, it's a rose. So you're in control going into the beach, which is I didn't do her too dirty there. But what happens if Davia comes in first? Davia comes in that moment.
Oh God, I think Sean stays in. I think Sean has enough riz to riz up Davia to get a rose, and then Davia would probably be like, "Who else is coming down?"
Yeah,
or maybe Aaron S. There's no way Davia in her right mind picks fuck Peter. Or maybe John B. Maybe John B. even gets down with Davia. I could see that. Hella. So that would have been John B. I feel bad for him. He was in and out.
Yeah.
But kind of saw it coming.
It just would have been interesting to see if Davia came in and still wanted Tanner and wanted to give her rose to Tanner, because it's very rare you're in a situation where two people who have roses to give want to give it to the same person, because then it's just a matter of like
Yeah.
who gets called first during the rose
But
ceremony.
they're probably like give the first call to Kat since she's been there long enough.
Yes.
And then Kat would give it to Tanner. And then the next week, she would have just been, trying to get with Tanner. You know?
But it honestly sounds like Davia doesn't give a fuck about what Kat thinks. Like, she came in
Well,
and was
yeah,
like, I want
yeah,
Tanner.
yeah. I know,
So,
but I do feel like they would have given
Yeah.
Kat the option first.
yeah. So after the rose ceremony, we do say goodbye to 4 people. We say goodbye to Aaron S.,
Yeah.
which we have some updates on him later on. John B., who, like we said, was in and out. Sean, who I'm genuinely going to miss. I genuinely
Yep.
enjoyed him on this season.
I think this is not the last time we'll see him.
You think he comes back on another Paradise?
I think he's another Paradise for sure. I think he's definitely has the potential just because he got a lot of screen time. He's not living in a relationship. Didn't really have a real relationship. I think he could be a layup for them to bring back next summer.
He could be one of those guys who's
age wise.
Yeah,
he's like what? He'll be 28 next summer. Come on.
I thought he was younger than that. Or maybe he's 26.
I think he's 26, 27, 26, 27. So, like, yeah, it would make sense. I could definitely see him on again, especially. I mean, obviously, there's going to be another, Bachelorette season, prior to this, but like prior to the next one. But yeah. I could see it. 100%.
He could be one of those guys who's on like 6 seasons of Bachelor in Paradise. He just always comes back, and they're like, "Really, this guy again?" And then he just never finds love. Like Blake, honestly, Blake's been on it for three different times now. And they find their way back. They're addicted to it. Anything we want to say about Will before we let him go for good?
I mean, I hate to like say like about time, but like it is kind of about time for Will.
His moment is gone. I think he had a good run. It wasn't going to work out for him.
Yeah, and I think he's one of those guys that I could not see coming back to Paradise. I just don't think at some point he would want to. So
yeah, he's too traumatized. You need to get out of here. Yeah. All right, next up we had Rachel and Brayden's little play date, which I'm starting to see it. And I don't know if it's like a honeymoon phase where they both kind of struggled early on and they're like, honestly, screw it. Let's just have fun, not thinking this could be a long-term thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
I think Rachel's I honestly, I think both of them are in that boat where like, this is fun for the short term. I don't think it's going to last long term, but I think they're both like, both their personalities, they just like needed to get something out and like have fun. They're both fun, energetic people where they're like, they just want to enjoy the time right now because they weren't.
Yeah, I think that's exactly like you hit the nail on the hammer. I don't think they're gonna be getting engaged, not a chance. But I mean, they're just having fun, and the personalities click, and they're both on my fantasy team, so that helps.
Yeah, and we also, like I said, it very like episode 1. When they teased this season of Paradise, they had Rachel and Brayden like together the whole time, like during the ending of
the whole time.
Well, at the end of Charity's season, they had Rachel and Brayden sitting together, and like they made it look like they were a couple. So I would be kind of mad if they teased that and it was actually the case, and like they're engaged or something.
There's no way. There's no way they're engaged. I would put $1 million that they're not engaged.
Yeah,
there's just no way.
I agree. But the date was a Rachel and Brayden date. They painted each other up, did that stuff. They have the black boxes that they love doing on Paradise to cover stuff up.
I'm just confused why you do something like that if you're just gonna like, because they'd use the black boxes, but at the same time when he was painting her ass, they were just showing the ass. So they're like, oh,
what are they covering
now? It's blue now. You can't see it. Like, no, you can still see the ass. It's just blue. It's just a Smurf ass. So that was crazy.
In the guidelines, you can't show human ass, but you can show Smurf ass.
I guess. And I also, talking about their date, I want to give a shout out to that worker that was there helping them and giving them the instructions and stuff, because that must have been a tough watch for her. She must have been like, why am I here? How much is ABC paying me? This is insane. So yeah, shout out to her.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you forget there's just like a whole crew of production and camera people around that while it's happening. Like,
Yeah.
it's a little much, don't you think? But yeah, that date went as you would expect. They're just fun time. Again, probably not a long-term thing there. But we'll see. Who knows? The next day, or I believe it's actually the same day, but the big event, it's Kat's birthday. So happy birthday,
Yeah.
Kat. Allow us to wish you happy birthday.
Yeah.
She's officially 27 as of the airing of that episode. I mean, it was a couple months ago. Arguably, you have to know what's happening. If you have a birthday during the filming of Paradise, bad things are going to happen to you. The producers are going to try to fuck with you as much as possible because they know it's going to be dramatic. And
Which
that's
is
exactly what
hilarious.
happens. It's awesome. It's great.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
It was everything that could go wrong did go wrong for Kat.
Mhm.
And it starts with her public enemy number one, Davia, showing up on the beach. And like we said, power move. She grabs Tanner right away, doesn't talk to anyone else, and says, I want Tanner. I'm going to take Tanner on a date. I do want to say Tanner was a little too happy to say yes and agree to the date. There's some gamesmanship you got to do there. You have to put on a phrase like, oh, I'm debating this. You've been with Kat for a little bit. He was like, yeah, I'm in. I'm so in.
I think after that truth box thing with the whole Tanner should watch out for Kat, he probably was just like, you know what, this bitch is a little crazy. And then he was like, oh, Davia just walks down. Cool, let's ride. So
I do want to say he was weirdly obsessed with her eyes. And like, yes, it's a great compliment to compliment a girl's eyes.
Yeah.
He brought up her eyes like 7 separate times. So you're like, wait,
Well,
one of them's blue, one of them's green, which is
yeah.
awesome
Well,
and cool.
That is cool. Yeah. That's what like Max Scherzer has.
Yeah, but he just kept bringing it up.
Yeah. Maybe the producers maybe he was also saying other things, but the producers just like, you know, like, let's fuck with him a bit. Let's fuck with him a bit.
And then there's a great montage. The editing team was just in their bag as Tanner and Davia are dancing, doing the dirty dancing, like all that.
Yeah,
and
they casually pulled that off. They casually pulled that off, the dirty dancing move.
That's an impressive move.
It's insane. I was just like, they're just going to casually do that with like, you know, the mariachi band or whatever performing above them or whatever. I don't know.
Doing in slow-mo is a hack, though. They slowed it down so it's looked way more cinematic. But I do want to give props to them. That's impressive, and it should be highlighted. That is an athletic feat by both parties. So shout out to Tanner and Davia for that. While that's happening, they keep cutting back to Kat hitting her piñata over and over again. And again, the editing team was just in their bag that whole time. They were going back and forth, the dramatic music, the slow down growl. It was awesome. That's TV. That's just cinema at its finest right there.
Yeah.
I love that montage. Basically, it ends up they come back, or no, they're still on their date when the truth or dare happens. To be honest, this episode lackluster compared to past weeks. But the truth or dare provided some funny moments, which is if it didn't have the truth or dare, this episode would have stunk. Highlights from the truth or dare. Mercedes and John Henry kiss, which I was surprised that both parties agreed to that.
Yeah. Oh, also, what one of them? I guess. Well, didn't Brayden give a lap dance to Jess?
To Jess, which that seemed very
Rachel wasn't there. Rachel wasn't there. I don't think she was.
I think she was.
No, I don't. Because the thing was like to the most attractive person there, and I know he would have definitely. No, I don't think Rachel was on the thing.
Okay.
I was looking around of who was there, and I was like, no way, Brayden would have done this. Like, do not play with my fancy team. Come on. So
that lap dance happened. Mercedes and John Henry they must have been like friends at this point because they don't seem like the people. Mercedes is very into Tyler, and John Henry is just an awkward little shy boy who is everyone's crush on the beach at this point. And they both, I bet Wells was pouring some strong drinks at that point. The tequila was flowing, and they're like, screw it. I'm not going to pass up this opportunity to make out with the hot person on the beach. Felt a little weird, but Olivia got her revenge by sucking his finger. She started the season off sucking toes, and now she's sucking fingers. She's a sucker. That's what she does.
Yeah. And I don't think you should be really concerned about the Mercedes if you're Olivia. Like,
Yeah.
nothing big.
What do we how strong do we think Olivia and John Henry's relationship is?
Probably not that strong. Didn't we see in the preview of like some turmoil of next week? The preview of next week.
I'm pretty sure. I try to avoid those previews as much as possible. I gloss over them because I don't like being spoiled. I do remember seeing Jess and Tyler together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Other thing from the Truth or Dare, which I thought was really funny, is that every Truth or Dare revolved around some kind of romantic or sexual tension. And then it was Aaron B's turn, and they said, "Hey, dude, eat this super hot pepper." And he just ate this hot pepper.
He was the first one. He was the first one too. And so the rest, you can tell the rest of the Truth or Dare, he was struggling. He was struggling. Yeah, I feel bad. I honestly, if I'm in his shoes, like I'm reacting the same way. Like I can't do spice at all. So
I'd be pissed if I was him.
Yeah, he's like, you could have dared me to kiss any of these chicks. Instead, you're making me like go through this pain. Like, fuck you, new chick. Like,
yeah, there's 15 hot people here on this beach, and you just want me to suffer by eating this super hot pepper.
Yeah,
that's wild. Poor Aaron B. So I feel bad. I felt bad for him in that moment. Last thing from the episode, it kind of ended on this note with Jess and Blake having their little conversation about, hey, what are we? What's going on here?
Yeah.
And Jess, I think is very clear, is not as into Blake as she might have seemed at first. And Blake, I think Blake handled that well. From what I remember, Blake was listening and understood and said, okay, like this is how you're feeling. I'll deal with that. Let's move on from this. Let's both explore. But Jess was very emotional.
I mean, you could definitely tell that there's an 8-year age gap. You know, Blake was handling it like a 32-year-old and Jess was handling it like a 24-year-old. Simple as that.
Yeah. I don't think you're wrong there.
The biggest thing I got from that conversation was I totally forgot. I mean, Blake's got to be Canadian, right? He's Canadian because I totally like. You can just hear it when he says out. He says like out. How do they say it? Like
out.
About. I don't know. Every time he says it, I'm just like. It makes me giggle.
It is funny when the Canadian accents come out.
Yeah.
So it seems like Jess is now fair game. Same with Blake.
Yeah. And we haven't. Remember at the very start of the season, we got teased with the Katie Thurston trip. So.
Which is it seemed like Blake. I wonder if they would wait until Blake is in a secure relationship to bring Katie down. Or wait for him to be single and bring Katie down.
I mean,
I don't think we get Katie next episode.
We don't. I mean, she wasn't teased. Charity was teased next episode.
Oh, that's right. Charity's coming. To talk about Aaron B.
Yeah, and she definitely won't be dating. Like she and Dotton are good for sure. So
yeah. And there was the big tease was her talking about Aaron B, which. As much qualms as we had with Aaron B, I don't think Charity's gonna have anything. Cherry was very into Aaron B.
Yeah, she's not gonna say anything.
She never had. He wasn't like a villain on that season at all. So I don't get the tease that she's gonna like destroy his relationship with Eliza. I think the exact opposite. I think she's gonna say, "I liked him. He was a good dude. Maybe a little cringy at moments, but yeah."
And he did fly down. He did fly down during Fantasy Suites when he already was sent home. So maybe that's a little red flaggy.
That could be the issue where she could say, "I don't know if he's over me yet," because that, in the terms of filming, was very soon. Yeah. So that it could be, hey, like he was very invested in. I want to make sure he's emotionally available. So I don't think she'll say anything bad about like his character or anything. Just the fact that he might still be dealing with the Charity breakup, which I could see, but I don't think that conversation is going to end poorly for Aaron B. I think he'll come out unscathed. I think him and Eliza will be fine.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else from Bachelor in Paradise before we move on to Golden Batch?
No, I don't think so.
Power rank couples. Who's your top 3 right now? Potential to go home together.
Whatever ones you posted on Instagram, those were pretty accurate. Little tiers you had too.
Yes.
Avon and Kylie up there. I still think Aaron B is fine. Blake and Jess definitely in the hot seat.
Yeah, I said the most.
I think Tyler and Mercedes are fake. That's done soon. Jess and Blake are done. Brayden.
I would weirdly put Brayden and Rachel at 3 right now. I would go Kylie and Avon, Eliza and Aaron B, which could be number 1, and then Rachel and Brayden. But there's not a lot of strong couples. There's a lot of 50-50. This could.
I think 4 would be John Henry and Olivia.
Yes, I'd agree.
They're cute together.
I love them. I hope that's the couple I'm rooting for the most. I love those 2 together. By far, they're my favorite, a fan favorite for me.
How many more weeks of Paradise are there? Because I was trying to do the math, and is it going to end the same week as Golden Batch?
No, I think it goes on further.
That's what I was gonna say, but because I was like, Golden Batch is like, 3-4 weeks left, right?
Yeah, because
are they going to do a woman tell all with Golden Batch?
Oh, that would be electric. A grandma tell all. Where they bring them all. I need that. I need that episode. That would be fantastic. But that would be
playing bingo.
It would be too nice because normally with the tell all, they're all screaming at each other. I don't think you'll have that as much.
Remember
Nancy.
Kathy? Remember
or not
Kathy.
Nancy? Kathy.
Yeah,
I keep getting those
mixed
up.
And April would definitely should have some words, because she's doesn't cause drama, but she was spoken. And
so
then maybe they'd bring Joan in to announce, and they'd probably announce the Golden Bachelorette.
You're right. So, I mean, they're definitely gonna have a finale. So we get hometowns next week. Then we get fantasy suites with 2 people. So this is the first
possibly 3. Possibly 3.
Possibly 3. So that's my that was my biggest question early on. Is they came out the gate first thing of the episode, and they said, by the way, we're only going to have 3 hometowns, which is completely different than the 4 hometowns of every other season. My first thought, this could be a budget thing. I think it's very expensive to get a whole crew out to a random remote location, depending on where the grannies live. This very well could be a budget thing.
Well, that, and they only have an hour for the episode.
True.
So instead of 2 hours. So I think it just makes sense. And Gerry probably doesn't want to fucking do that much travel in 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't even like traveling that much. Travel to 4 different hometowns in the span of, whatever. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I have kind of a hot take, and I don't know if this will pertain to Golden Bachelor as well. I think hometowns is the boringest episode of every single season of Bachelor, Bachelorette. I just don't find the storylines that interesting because they all end the same. Unless there's a crazy outlier, it's always build up drama. Will they accept this person? Will they worry about the timeline of things? And they're all fine. They're all normal people. It's basically you take this bunch of people who are on a reality TV show and then put them back into real life for a little bit. It's not as entertaining, which it shouldn't be. Like, our real life families should not be this dramatic, entertaining mess of a TV show. So am always, I'll say it, hometowns is usually the episode where if I'm rewatching it, I'll just skip forward because I don't really care. Which I think Golden Bachelor is going to be way more intriguing because the dynamic is very weird. Like, you're visiting their kids. Not their parents.
Kids and grandkids. Yeah.
Yes.
And grandkids.
Which we'll preview hometowns at the very end here. We got to recap this past episode. So starts out Faith one-on-one date, which this was the big, again, we talk about budget. This was a wildly high budget date. They go on a helicopter, fly around, and then land on a yacht. You can do that, but you can't afford 4 hometowns. Wild date for Faith. But pretty straightforward, I think. Faith seems to get her groove back. She's back in the front runner mindset, which could come back to bite her. We'll see. But yeah, you see Faith. It's usually a thing with people who get the first impression rose. You know, you fade a little bit, and then you have another one-on-one date that kind of gets you back in the groove. And I think her and Gerry are strong, not as strong as I think him and Leslie are at this moment. But I think the date went well. Nothing too big to talk about there.
Yeah, I mean, good date. Definitely very expensive. I think it's clear that Leslie and Faith are the top two. Maybe the fact that Teresa's around is just like, maybe he just sees something so different, and if she wins, that'd just be like, I mean, that's some actual like Cinderella story, you know, Oral Roberts making the fifth, you know, some
Fairleigh
FBU.
Dickinson. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Purdue fan.
Okay, you want to make jokes?
No.
Want to start there?
Don't even go there. You know I'm suffering right now.
To.
Don't even think about it.
Not going to joke about injuries.
For those of you watching at home, I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. Do with that information as you wish. Then we have after the one-on-one date where they saw the helicopter and all this, all the grannies who are left, they do this thing where they ask details and then they get mad that they got details, which is kind of pissing me off at this point. It started with Kathy.
I really, but like it's kind of Leslie now.
It's a little bit Leslie. I think
they're just showing Leslie. They just like when she's talking about it, the camera will the producer will show Leslie's face, which obviously she has every right to be like sad and jealous. Like that's fair emotions.
Yeah, but they do this thing where they're like, "Tell me everything that happened," and then the person tells them everything that happened, and then they say, "Why the hell did you tell me this? This makes me sad now."
Oh
which
my
again,
God, I can't believe you have done this.
Yeah, why did you say this? But yeah, we have that Faith one-on-one date, and then we have the group date, the theme park, amusement park, which is always my favorite date. I think that would be so fun to go on. It always has a weird vibe though. The last couple ones I can think about was it has a bad track record because it had Rachel and Tyler. That's when he broke up with Tyler, and then Charity and Warwick.
Yeah, it was the one-on-one with Warwick, and it was so funny because Warwick did. Well, I think he didn't say anything, but like he probably just got edited a little bit quieter than he actually is. But he is probably just really quiet. But yeah, I don't know. It's a fun date. Like I think every time it's a fun date. And Santa Monica Pier, that's an iconic place. So that's also probably some bread too, in terms of renting that out.
I think they filmed it very late at night. My guess is probably like 11 p.m. To like 1 a.m. was probably the time for that date, so they could shut down the pier and use all the stuff. But yeah, that date, that's where you get Leslie kind of feeling bad, feeling inadequate in that moment where maybe he doesn't pick me, where she was feeling very confident the last couple of weeks. Yep. And then we get a moment from Gerry, which I think sealed the deal on this season. And you can tell me if I'm wrong. Gerry has this moment where they're talking on the little roller coaster one-on-one. Leslie's saying, I'm just like nervous. I feel uneasy in this moment. And they hug, and then they do the subtitles, the whisper. Think of the writing. There was a moment of writing for this plot because a couple episodes there was whispering. Wait a second. Whoa, the whisper moment that we had a couple episodes ago. He whispered, let me say it. I want to get this take off. He whispered it and they didn't say what he whispered. And then now he whispered something and they put subtitles and he said, "You're my girl." What if he said that 4 weeks ago? He said, "You're my girl." And that's why she didn't say what it was, because she didn't want to say that so early.
No, I think he said some freaky shit earlier. I'm not gonna lie, I'll still stand by that. I think he said some freaky shit, and that's why she didn't say it. But yeah, no, I'm serious. I really do.
He just said some freaky shit. That's why they won't. But I think that'd be a great moment in like the finale. They reveal and they show like the full audio, and he said, "You're my girl," a month earlier.
That would be cool. That would be cool. I think no matter what, when they show what he said and stuff like that, or if they do, it will be cool to see. But yeah,
So
no,
that
that moment was that definitely. I don't know. See, I think it was a for sure sign to me. Like if he gave out that group date rose, which I'm kind of glad he didn't, so it wasn't just one rose at the ceremony. So it was kind of good that it was 2 roses. I think that group date rose was going to Leslie.
Yes,
I think
I would agree.
it for sure would have. Just so he could like reassure to her before the rose ceremony. But then like we knew that first rose was Leslie. Like she clearly has the advantage over the crowd, you know. But
As soon as I saw him say that, he said, "You're my girl," and whispered it to her. Because the whispering move is always maybe the mics won't pick this up. But like,
but
dude, you're mic'd up. They obviously will hear this. But he's like in his mind, subconsciously saying this, like just you and me. He's saying, "You're my girl." I tweeted the gif of Vince Carter, just like in the dunk contest. It said, "It's over. It's over. Game over." Leslie's gonna win this thing. She's gonna
and
mess around and win this thing.
it's also maybe because the hearing aids, but yeah, I agree.
That's,
I'm
yeah,
serious. Like, and the fact that they both have hearing aids,
that's hot.
that's no, like that's like a connection. Like I feel like
Yeah.
you really bond over that for sure.
Are you willing to put your foot down and say it's over too? Because I am. I think it's over.
I think she's definitely got minus. I don't want to jinx anything, you know, for my girl Les.
Friend of the program. We love her to
Yeah.
death. If I'll say this, we'll turn on Gerry. We will turn on Gerry
I will
if he
turn on
hurts
Gerry
Leslie.
if he hurts Leslie or picks Teresa.
I think those go hand in hand. Both would happen if he picks Teresa.
I think he could not. Oh yeah, they would go hand in hand. But I think there's a chance that he could maybe not hurt Leslie and pick like Faith or something, you know, and just then I'd be like, all right, you know what, whatever.
Is
But
there any
Faith definitely has a shot.
situation? I agree. So I think it's Faith and Leslie at the end of this, the last two. But is there a way something could be unorthodox here, where like one of the grannies leave on their own? Like, who's the most likely to get cold feet? Is my question.
I don't know. It sounds like it's Leslie, but I think she got some reinsurance from him to where she won't get cold feet, even though they will definitely tease her getting probably some cold feet or some nerves. I don't think anybody's gonna leave. Like I don't think Teresa's leaving until she just
Teresa
gets
was
broken up.
begging Gerry for
Yeah,
this roast, which really
and
pissed
then
me off.
she loves like I think he maybe just likes making out with her. I'm not gonna lie because like maybe she's just like a freaky good kisser because they show up some close ups and she's like getting in there, like she don't has no dentures to worry about. She's getting in there, full tongue, full teeth, and everything. I'm just like, damn. They were on the roller coaster or the Ferris wheel or something, right? And she was getting in there, and she always does. So maybe he's just like,
You think he just wants to get her to fantasy suites?
maybe. I'm serious. Maybe
That
he's
would be
just like,
so funny if that's the narrative. Because there's always that with some like the Bachelors. They're like, oh, he just wants to take her to fantasy suites. What if Gerry just wants to take Teresa to fantasy suites?
which is crazy because it's just like Teresa, like what? But maybe she's like that. I don't
Maybe
know.
she like that.
She's like that.
I don't. We'll see. All right, and then we get to the final rose ceremony. The last one until hometowns. And the first two to go, obvious, and we talked about it. It's Susan and Sandra. They just were the odd grannies looking out or looking in, whatever.
But shout out to them. I think they did play a pivotal role in the season. They were funny. They're both funny people, high energy. Yeah, you know they're great people, and I think they'd be right up there with if there was a paradise kind of thing. I could for sure see.
Oh,
maybe not Sandra, but I could see
Susan on a Grannies in Paradise would be
Susan would kill it. Yeah,
incredible. I need that. And then we say goodbye to Ellen, who's our golden Glammy, which was shocking to us. Teresa, after begging and pleading, just it was almost sad to watch. She was begging him, like on her knees, give me this rose. I really want you to meet my family. And she was like,
Yeah.
please, 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 please. And then he did it. And
Yeah.
I think that was producer driven, to be honest. I stand by that.
But why? What are the producers?
Because they know if it's Ellen, Faith, and Leslie, you get, I don't think, any drama for the last 3 weeks of this.
But Teresa is not really a drama causer. She's just like a dumb.
She's
She's just
accidentally
dumb.
she's accidentally a pot stir.
Yeah, I guess.
She doesn't. And again, I don't think any of these grannies really intend to stir stuff up, besides maybe Kathy. But I think Teresa just adds an element of unpredictability into the final three, where Ellen would be such an easier constant pick. Like, we know what we're getting out of her. But yeah, we get our final three, and we'll see what happens at hometown. So it will be an interesting dynamic to see the kids' side of this, which is a very interesting angle now. Like the grandkids and like, I don't know what kind of questions you ask to. It's almost like I don't know. I really don't know how this dynamic is going to work.
It's gonna be like the scene in Step Brothers when it's like,
yes,
I like my pancakes or whatever. I like fresh fruit on the table. You know, when he first meeting her. No, it's gonna be weird, but I think it's gonna be less like with hometowns and other seasons with normal aged people. You have the classic, the parents saying, I think this is so quick. Like, how do you know you're falling for her so quick? This is all phony. I feel like the kids are still going to be like, this is really quick. Like, and you guys are old, you know, but they're not going to be as critical as the parents are normally in hometowns, right?
Because they're gonna be super excited. Like, yeah, Granny, go get your man.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know. And Gary's such a sweet guy that I don't think he's going to come off, you know, bad to any of the families. Yeah. So, like, I don't know. I think if anything, we'll just see maybe some kids, I don't know, just being uncomfortable with it.
But yeah, it's very cruel for Gerry to have to go through this where every grandkid is now like, are you going to be my new grandpa? Like, you're going to get that for 3 straight hometowns.
It's cruel kind of to the grandkids that like
a little bit
not of age, but like of having like we're real like conscious and like remembering, because like
like Sean, their frontal cortex hasn't fully developed. I mean, like Sean,
some of them are probably in easily kindergarten, you know, first, second grade. They're probably not going to remember this in so many years, and like you're gonna like they're gonna get all these producers and cameras and everything, and they're gonna like think that they're like getting a new grandpa in a sense, and they're not going to understand with the situation of only like 33.3 repeated % chance of it actually. So
that's interesting. I'm excited to watch. Very interesting.
It'll be interesting, but I think all 3 encounters will be very similar. With all the families.
I agree. Okay, Twofers to wrap up. Let's start. Let's do Golden Batch. Who's going home? Who's staying? With your final 3.
Well, do we think someone's gonna be sent home, or are they gonna just do 3 fantasy suites? Because I think he's just not gonna want to send anybody home on hometowns.
Gerry, you dog, wants to take them all to fantasy suites. No, I think he sends someone home.
Okay.
And it basically the question, is it Teresa? It should be Teresa, it feels like.
But now I'm thinking like maybe not. Maybe he's got, but no, like it's gotta be Teresa.
Leslie's safe. We agree. Leslie has to be safe. Final
Leslie's
2
safe.
for sure.
Yeah, Leslie's a lock for the final 2. I think for the second final 2, it's Faith has got to have minus odds.
Like 90%, it's Faith, but there's a small chance something weird happens.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I think Faith's good to go. So I'll say Teresa goes.
And I would say for your sake and for our sake as the show, who loves Leslie, we're almost kind of rooting for Teresa. Because if it's between Teresa and Leslie at the end, that's a layup pick. You
It's a
can't
layup.
miss that, Gary.
But almost too much of a layup as a viewer. I'd be like a little bit
Yes.
too much of a layup.
Yes. So
Um,
who knows?
yeah, we'll see.
So I think we're on the same page there for the Twofers. For Paradise, I'll go first here. We need to pick girls now because the
Yep.
next rose ceremony, the guys have the roses. I'm gonna say, this feels pretty safe. I'm gonna say Kat goes home. I think the amount of airtime she's received
Okay.
the
Yeah.
last 3 weeks means
For
there's
being
not
crazy.
much left on the plate.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any guys that are going to actively pursue her, especially ones who are already on the beach and have seen this all play out. So I'll say Kat goes home, and I will say, despite her recent tiff and breakup, I think Jess stays for a little bit longer. I think
Yep.
she is obviously a very beautiful woman, and she's
Yep.
going to have her fair share of suitors at this point, no matter who
Yep.
comes down those steps. And we see her little connection potentially with Tyler coming up. So
They bring down Sean again so he can have another shot at Jess.
that would be awesome. Like, we need this new guy coming down, and Sean's like, "What's up, guys? I'm here to talk to Jess."
Or everybody like Jess. It's like the rose ceremony thing, but Jess is like looking for like a miracle, like another guy to send down so she can get a rose, and they send Sean down, and Jess is still like,
What the
nope.
fuck? Nope. Yeah, she's begging for someone to come down. It's Sean, and she just says no. She's like, "I'd rather leave."
Yeah. I'm gonna go with leave Mercedes. I think Mercedes. I think right there, Jess and Tyler. So I think Mercedes is gone. I don't think there's gonna be a roast ceremony this Thursday. I think it'll be next Thursday.
Yeah,
right?
probably not. They space them out.
Then for stay, Kat.
Oh, wow.
Just because you took her as, I think she's still there. As crazy as she is, I think there's gonna be dudes coming down and still gonna find her attractive. And I think once somebody finds her attractive and starts to fuck with her, she's just gonna go all in on him and just like claim him.
Fair enough. All right, we shall see. Last thing we want to do before we get into headlines, we do have a duty as BachMakers, and we take care of friends of the program. Katie Thurston, who we will see in Paradise in a couple weeks. She's also participating right now on season 3 of FBoy Island, which I have watched to make sure I know what's going on. And I'm going to do a quick recap. I think we have to do our FBoy voices, and I don't have any shades here or something. And we'll go hood up and just FBoy Island, baby. What up? So, FBoy Island. Let's chat about it. Because I'm straight up hella confused. Mike, I'm hella confused on how this show works, to be honest. I mean, it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense, and my brain is just confuzzled. I have no idea what the hell's going on, because straight up, you can come into the show and say, I'm an F-boy, or you can come into the show and be like, nah, dude, I'm super nice, I'm chivalrous, and all that stuff. But at the very end, if you end up with one of the bad chicks, you're like, wait, I can just decide. You can change your mind. So I don't know why someone would want to come on the show and be like, yeah, ha ha ha, I'm an F-boy, when you can just be a nice guy. And at the very end, you get money, basically. You end up with, we got 3 chicks, 3 super bad hot chicks, ha ha ha. Daniela, we got Hallie, and we got our girl Katie. And you pick one of them, and if you end up in a relationship at the end, you get a whole lot of dough. And you can split it with the chick. Or you can keep it for yourself and be an F-boy. But you got to make that decision at the very end. straight up hella confusing. I don't get the structure of it, but it's kind of entertaining.
So do good guys get the same amount of money as the bad guys?
It's
Like
a
the
it's
F boys?
100. It's 50K or 100K. I'm not great with numbers, so I don't really know. But you can either split it or keep it. It's the same amount though for F boys or nice guys. Straight up fucks with my brain.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
And there's one dude, Jared, hella sucks. Hella F boy. He's the worst, but he said he's an F boy. He's already been out like, yeah, I straight up not a good dude. And I'm just confused because at the end he could just be like, nah, I'll still split the money with you, babe. I've reformed myself. So I don't think
Yeah.
it matters if they're an F boy or a nice guy.
Yeah, I think there's a reason that it's on the CW, to be honest. No, straight up, like I'm not downloading another app to watch this show. Like I've got enough reality TV going on. Gotta watch the Great
No.
British
But we
Baking
love Katie. We
Show.
love
Like,
Katie. Shout out
but yeah,
Katie.
but shout out. I mean,
Shout out
she's getting a
Katie.
bag. She's getting
Get
a
that
bag from
bag.
this.
Get
So,
that
like, you know,
bag,
it's
girl.
time to
Get that bag.
get that bag, shawty. Get that bag.
Maybe share some with the BachMakers.
The
Maybe
bag
our
makers,
budget's pretty low for this show. Please.
as you can tell.
I do on some real shit. I do like the girls on like Katie, Hallie, and Daniela. They're cool, and it's a refreshing take. I think the structure needs to be tightened up a little bit from what I can tell. I didn't watch past seasons. I'm a season 3er. That's it. So I don't know. We also have Katie in a little love triangle right now with our, I believe, good guy Vince. I like him. Good dude. And then we got Benedict coming in, who's from Indiana. You'd actually probably know him. Benedict Palizzi.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he's got a podcast with Joey Muller.
Yeah, dude, straight up's like chiseled, looks like a Greek god. I think is an F boy. He was a nice guy on last season, apparently, but now he's saying he's a nice guy again. I didn't really buy it, but again, it doesn't really matter because at the end you can just be like, I'm a fucking fuck boy or nice guy. So I want Vince. I'm a Vince fan. I like Vince and Katie together. Still straight up hella confused, but I'll watch because I'll support Katie 100%.
Yeah, that's just confusing to hear about, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'll be back here every week. F-Boy Island recaps. We'll let you know what's going on, but that's basically what's happening. All right, I'm done. I can't do anymore. That was fun. I haven't done that voice in a while. It kind of just like gives you free reign to just like say whatever you want. It's kind of fun. Headlines to wrap up. One thing I noticed is, so Kat has gone to Twitter, and she's like taking on the producers and the like editors. She
Really?
keeps tweeting out like, oh, why does my hair look different in this shot compared to when Davia actually walked in? Or why is this cut look like this? Basically saying it does, like they're manipulating it to make her look bad, which television. But she's calling it out, which I respect. She also has like 300 followers on Twitter, which makes it even funnier. Not that that's a small amount or a lot, but it's just funny that she's just like, guys, someone pay attention. They're making me look bad.
That's
probably I'm a bad Twitter.
Agreement.
Yeah,
it's probably in an agreement she has with ABC that she probably can't be doing that. So
she straight up probably won't be coming back.
Yeah.
The only other headline I have is Sam and Aaron announced today. They came out, and I first saw it. I saw the joint Instagram thing together, and I was like, hell yeah, they're dating. They're together. They're just besties. They're just best friends.
Yeah. He got friend zoned on the show, and then also got friend zoned on Instagram. But I think they're just friends.
Yeah. But, so in the caption they said they actually like, again, I kind of love this. It's very wholesome. They had a difference in faith, and Sam said that's very important to me. It's something like that's a breaking point for me. And I think they both handled it well. And they said, hey, this isn't going to be a romantic relationship, but I fuck with you, you fuck with me. Let's be good friends. And I think that's actually very wholesome. And I'm glad I wish the show would show that, to be honest. I wish there was a moment like cut to them post show. Maybe we'll get that at the finale, like the tell all. I hope so, because I think it's a very wholesome moment of the show that should be highlighted a little bit more.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. Well, I think that wraps up BachMakers for this week. Mike, anything else you want to
Yeah. Greer's soft launching her boyfriend right now. So, hey Siri, play Marvin's Room.
Yeah, sorry, Mike. We'll keep working on it. Greer, if you're watching, hit us up. Mike's a great dude. He's a great batchmaker. Everyone, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week on BachMakers. If you watch this far, you better like the video, leave a comment, and maybe we'll send you some merch. Love you guys. See you guys next week. FBoy's out.
Crossing a rose, vision